The turbulence hit hard. Flight 731 was halfway through its journey from New York to London when the captain announced an emergency diversion. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing an unusual weather pattern. Please remain calm." Ethan, seated near the wing, glanced out the window. What he saw wasn't weather, it was a figure, barely human, clinging to the fuselage. Pale skin, hollow eyes, and jagged teeth gnawed at the metal as if it was trying to get in. He rubbed his eyes, convincing himself it was his imagination. But then the scream started. From the back of the plane, a man stumbled forward, his shirt soaked in blood. His face twisted unnaturally, veins bulging in his eyes glowing a sickly yellow. Passengers screamed as the man lunged at a flight attendant, sinking his teeth into her neck. "Is this some kind of prank?" Ethan whispered, heart pounding. It wasn't. Within minutes, chaos erupted. More passengers turned, their eyes glowing the same eerie yellow, attacking anyone near them. Ethan grabbed his backpack and sprinted toward the cockpit. A woman, Sarah, joined him, clutching her crying child. "We have to block the door," she yelled. Ethan and Sarah shoved a food cart against the cockpit door. "What's happening?" she cried. Ethan shook his head. "I don't know. It's like, they're INF." Ethan and Sarah shoved a food cart against the cockpit door. "What's happening?" she cried. Ethan shook his head. "I don't know. It's like, they're infected." Through the intercom, the captain's voice trembled. "We've received reports of a global outbreak. Symptoms include violent aggression and cannibalistic tendencies. Please remain seated, N." The message cut off. Ethan felt his stomach drop as the plane lurched violently. The infected were slamming against the cockpit door, their guttural growls echoing through the cabin. Sarah's child screamed as one of the infected crawled toward them. Ethan grabbed a fire extinguisher and swung it with all his might, knocking the creature back. "We have to think of something," he shouted. Sarah pointed to an emergency hatch near the wing. "We could jump. We're 30,000 feet in the air." Ethan snapped. Before they could argue further, the cockpit door burst open. The infected poured through, dragging the pilots out. The plane nosedived. Alarms blared, oxygen masks dropped, and chaos consumed the cabin. Ethan grabbed Sarah's hand. "We're not going to make it," he said, voice trembling. She looked at him, tears streaming. "We have to try." As the plane hurtled toward the ground, Ethan smashed the emergency hatch open. Wind roared as they leapt into the void, the infected clawing after them. For a moment, it felt like freedom. Then, darkness.